When do you start enacting this as a practice?
As a practice. So when did I start to do this?
You personally.
So about
you personally
4 years,
or you as
4.5
administering
years. So I started doing these things and did various different psychedelics, plant medicine, and then over COVID.
Can I ask you a slight question there?
Sure.
Now, there was always a stigma when I was a kid. It's like, you can only take mushrooms 6 times or else you'll be done. You'll never come back. Now I'm way past that.
Yeah.
What's the number? Is there a number? It's like
For ketamine, or for what I do, or in general?
in general.
I think you have to be careful not to overdo it. You can overdo it.
Right.
Do when it calls you. I call it when it calls you. When you start to look at it, it becomes a crutch. So I need to do this to be happy.
To go out.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
That's a problem. You don't need to do this to
Right.
be or anything.
And a true plant that doesn't have like addictive traces
It's
like
not
that.
addictive, but you become dependent. Like, I need something outside of myself to be happy.
Right.
That's a problem. You want to use it to find the answers within yourself. You have all the happiness. We have everything we need. All the answers are already there. We just need to be, this AI system, I call it an AI system, is here to protect. But this thing is here only to keep you physically alive in this world. That's its only job. And it does so. It creates patterns throughout our life. All the traumas and all that get programmed into this operating system, and we never update it. So we're living through life, and that's how we see the world. What's safe, what's not, and what the ketamine does is it actually, or all the psychedelics, is they decrease the influence of this and allows us to access something deeper and a different point of view that goes beyond just this.
Look forward to me using the expression "time to update the OS."
It is, but that's what it does.
I'm going to be saying that right as I pop a chalky.
Yeah, you call it neuroplasticity. So it decreases it loosens up the wiring between between our memories. It learns this thing works in patterns, so it connects memories to emotions. So things that would look like something that was scary, a parent abuses a child. If my parent did that, all these other people, anyone could trigger that. So it triggers me into sort of walling myself off. So I don't engage with the world, and I start to, that's where the emotions come in. What this does is it opens things up. It opens up those connections, so things don't trigger you as much. You have a little bit of time.
A buffer.
A buffer. So you said we do have choice. What we do have, sometimes we don't have choice in what's presented to us in the world, but we have free will in how we see what's presented to us. We have free will. How do I want to look at this? How do I want to engage with it and respond to it and see it? That we have full free will, and that's what it's all about. That's what psychedelics are about. To say you do have choice, and it's 10 different people look at the same situation in 10 different ways. What do you want? I don't want to, and I want to choose how I want to see it, not based on my mother saw it or this person who abused me or the bully or whatever it is. I want to see it from the way where I am today and the way I choose. It gives you back that free will. That's what it's about.
Wow.
That's what it's about.
It's very powerful. I mean,
very.
Just talking about it is getting my brain excited.
Back to the original question.
Yeah.
How does it? What makes the turn to professional use?
Right.
When do you go? I'm gonna
do this.
I'm gonna give it to a patient. I'm gonna give it to myself. What?
So this happened over COVID. Mm-hmm. Someone approached me. Someone I met in that world. Said, hey, I'm going to open up a psychedelic wellness center. I need a doctor just to help administer it, and to make sure we're doing it in a safe way.
To do the practical IV.
The practical IV with using ketamine.
Are you good with the IV?
I could put in IVs. I'm fairly good, but I don't put in the IVs.
You have a nurse. But you have a nurse that does that. Yeah,
we have people who do that.
Yeah, because my dad is
but I
terrible
can do it.
with the.
I'm actually pretty good at it.
My mom, brother, and sister-in-law are all nurses.
Yeah, and nurses are so much better.
They're amazing.
And they'll say the doctors can't even do this.
My sister,
they love to say
usually not. You don't want a doctor drawing blood.
No, my sister could is a nurse and will put an IV in me, and I don't even know it's there. Or stitch me up. My dad, I got scars all over from my dad being like, "I'll stitch you up."
Yeah, don't worry.
Yeah, I'm like,
I'm not going to doctor.
Yeah,
glue it.
Yeah, he would stitch me at home.
Yeah. Oh wow,
it was awful.
Yeah, we had a surgeon on. We had a surgeon on my.
It was the 80s.
Yeah, you did that type of thing.
We had a surgeon on the rugby team who brought a stapler and would staple people on the side of the pitch.
Yeah.
My dad one time, I was a counselor at a day camp, and I sat back and put my hand on it was like wood board that you would write on, and had a little metal clip, like a clipboard.
Yeah.
And I sliced my hand open on the metal part. And my dad's practice was 3 minutes from the day camp. And he didn't want me to leave work. So on his lunch break, he drove over with the Novocaine shot.
Yeah.
He cleaned it in the bathroom, put the Novocaine shot in, and stitched me up in the bathroom, and then went back to work.
Yeah.
And you went back.
And I went back to work.
More importantly,
how's the scar?
It was big, huge.
Yeah, okay.
Right there.
Yeah,
remember
you
that.
still got one.
Yeah, enormous. And the whole time I was like, "Are you sure you know what you're doing?" Like an asshole kid that's like, he went to medical school.
Dad.
I'm like, I know you went to the
Dad,
Jewish.
the
Jewish one.
I was just about to say the same thing and got nervous about saying that.
There was no Asians in your school.
That's not a medical school in my book. No South Asians? I'm out. But so
over COVID, we knew it was going to be a big issue, and he opened up a center. So I joined the center, and I started doing it. I only did it part-time. I was still working, doing the Goldman thing. I still had my own private practice. And then I saw how well it was working, much better than I expected.
For these
people who came in with severe mental health
and they
issues
come in
trauma.
and they'd be like, "Oh my God, I don't know what's wrong with me, but I am keyed up, and I have a bunch of business ideas." And you're like, "Slow down, you need ketamine."
Yes, exactly. Well, get into the chair, and then we did it in these protocols, and I saw how people were. I mean, you saw someone walk in and walk out, and a different person.
I've heard this from my friends who've done the ketamine therapy. Now that is one drug that I've only done once, and it was, setting was like motel room.
It's very different drug.
Yeah.
It's a completely
I did it by
different
accident
drug.
once, and like almost went blind.
Yeah. K-hole.
Is that what it's called? Like for real?
That's like when you do ketamine, people snort it up their nose on a dance floor in the middle of in a club or something.
Yeah.
And you do too much, you go into sort of a very immersive experience, and it's a little weird.
Let's just say I thought it was going to be a digestif.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize what I was doing. And I ended up being like, this feels weird. Why am I seeing everything on a slant? Oh my God, I'm blind.
Yeah. My one experience was like, do you want? I don't want to do coke. No, thank you. Like, it's not coke. It's ketamine. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, I don't want to do this again either. I did this. I know I did it wrong.
Okay,
I feel like I did it wrong.
That was the only time I did it, and I have never even thought about it again.
It's very different. It's a completely different drug when you do it in small amounts and when you do it through the IV. Completely different situation. When you do it in with an IV and with doctors and therapists seeing you before and afterwards, and you put an eye mask on, you put some nice music. We have like 12 different playlists.
I have to.
You go into it's called synesthesia. We actually see the music. It's really
That's
really
what
unusual.
Pharrell has,
right? It's a deep thing.
Pharrell has that all the time.
Synesthesia.
Right?
Some people do have.
Yeah, some people have that as like a full
some people have that.
Or some people can like smell colors and stuff like that.
Exactly.
I feel like I have that.
But under the influence of these psychedelics, you do. That's what happens. It's sort of it decouples the way the brain function, the way the brain processes things. It opens things up. And it's all about seeing things from another perspective. Seeing music from another perspective rather than just hearing it.
Hell yeah.
And you take that into your life and you start to see things and hear things from another perspective.
So
are you
into fish or the dead? What do you like?
None of it. I'm pretty boring.
What kind of music do you guys listen to?
I'm a pretty boring gay.
What kind of music?
You and your
I used to be more exciting.
So boring. You sound like a boring gay mushroom doctor. You sound real boring.
We don't do mushrooms.
I'm kidding around. But if you do you have any? But so what kind of music do you listen to?
What kind of music? Everything. I don't have any specific.
Are you like a Paul Simon guy? Are you like no?
More like modern.
Modern.
Yeah, I
You're
like
pop
listen pop. I like Madonna.
Madonna.
I used to work with
so we put on like a Madonna.
No. That we use like. More like spiritual Kundalini music, like music that's more spiritual.
Because
I feel like
it
doesn't work well.
Like a prayer would.
Like a prayer would freak you.
I would be like, oh boy.
No. It's music you wouldn't listen to.
Minister.
I'd be like, I know. I'm trying to figure that out.
We're not well versed in ketamine, so could you talk us a little bit through like what that does for the
So it does for the brain. So it decouples. So when people come in and they we do a lot of work before, make sure they feel comfortable, they're prepared for it.
I've already done that.
Yeah, you've done that. So
Yeah, you're
so you
totally
come
ready.
in,
I'm ready.
they're lying in their chair, ready to go.
Yeah.
We could put the eye mask on, we put up the drip, and they ease into this 1 hour. It's a 1 hour drip, and in the experience, they start to see after about a song or two, they start to see the music, and there's a variability, there's some intention in the music we choose. So some of these the music will inhibit, it will create these unbelievably multidimensional things that you cannot understand. And that's the point. You feel emotions, so you feel things. Some of it will be like, I can't believe I'm seeing this. This is the most incredible thing I've ever seen. And some of it will be it's a little scary. This is so weird. I don't like this. And as one song, fades out, the next song fades in that transition, everything dissolves. And then the next thing comes in. And it's like life, you have these, like, every song brings a different experience. It's wild. This is so crazy. It's very wild. You can't remember it.
You could almost argue that what you're doing is song therapy. You know what I mean? And then it's like musical.
The music is a huge part of it. It's just as important as the ketamine.
Do people ever puke?
Yeah. We give them medicine to prevent the puking. So we do. But people do. We give them Zofran at the beginning.
Okay.
We can give them, some of them give you these, those scopolamine patches people use. Those do.
No, Zofran's the real shit.
Not with motion sickness, actually.
You got to do the Dramamine patch. This is what you do. That's what you do on the boat. Yeah.
But I do get, oftentimes in my experience with psychedelic, I throw up.
Yeah. So if you take a little meclizine before, which will work, you'll be okay. Dramamine, we give Zofran. So we do, and some people need more than others. But because the problem is in the journey, you're moving. It's like you're on a journey. It's crazy.
That's always what makes me throw up. It's like, it's always the fact that you're like, you like sit down, you're like, whoop, and
but your inner ear isn't sensing movement, but your brain's saying you're moving. Yeah. It's like on a boat, you're in a boat and the boat's moving, but your eyes are saying you're not moving, but like it's confusing.
It's like vertigo.
Or like back to like the Universal Studios ride where you just go like this, but the screen.
Yeah, it's Back to the Future.
When I saw the Eagles at the Sphere on some plant medicine, there's a moment where like the perspective shifts and I had to grab onto my chair because I thought I was going to fall onto the stage. It felt like I was like,
I would love to do that.
I want to be in town for 3 weeks and do the full run.
It's a really deep, it's the deepest, most incredible experience.